Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is History Comics, The Great Depression. It's by Tim Stout and Joe Flood. So History Comics, exactly what the title sounds like. It takes you through rather important moments in history. It's a great way to go and start your journey and learning about these important topics. So examples of it is there's the Great Chicago Fire, which I think might have been one of the first ones they released, if not the first one. Wild Mustangs, which was really interesting. Obviously, World War II. It goes through the history of hip hop. Is in one of these. Like, it's really cool. They're just solid stuff, and it's always they're educational. Much like the science comics that are out there, I think the history comics are a great place to start to learn about whatever topic is in there. So this one's obviously the Great Depression. And one thing I like about the history comics is that there's always a hook. It's not just here's facts, you got to read it, and it's boring as all hell. In this case, it's a brother and sister who are not allowed to be on their computer because their mother needs the internet for something, and they're right now kind of limited as to their bandwidth due to like a fire outside. And they decided to go play a board game called Depression. And what happens is they find themselves transported to the Depression, and they have to go and solve these puzzles and do these tasks to try to make it home. It takes you through the history up to World War II, so 1929 to World War II. It's interesting. There's a lot in here. It's very educational, but even in the back of this, I think it points out some of its fallacies, some of the stuff that it doesn't get a chance to cover. But also, it's interesting that it starts at 1929 and basically just starts off with the stock market crash. I know that was a great contributor of it, like a major cause of it, but I think to say it only started at that point would be you got to give more factors than just that. But really, it's dumping him through that. It's not necessarily a story about the cause of the Great Depression, as much as I wish it had a little bit more about the cause of it. The thing that I like about it is it takes you through the history of the Great Depression. So what was done to get us out? What was the experiences like? What was the world like at that time? That's more the point of this graphic novel. It's how did people live through the Great Depression? How did they experience it? And what was done? So it's all the various works by Roosevelt. It talks about the recession that happened under Roosevelt, that he didn't quite get it right the whole at first. Takes us through like Hoovervilles and what got us out of the Great Depression, which would have been World War II, and the country rallied. It's interesting. It's a lot of intriguing history. Things that I like about it is the details of it. I think are really good. And it takes you through things like the hobo code, the actual like code that they would put out so they know about towns and places they could go and places that are safe or not safe, stuff like that. Like, to me, it's small details that I think are really intriguing. As I said, like, none of it's in depth, but it's enough that you learn about it, you touch upon it, and you're like, I want to learn more about this. And I think, to me, that's a success. That's a really, really great way to go and learn about things and get people introduced to the topic. So as I said, it starts off modern times. Brother and sister are bored. They decide to play the Great Depression game and are brought into the Great Depression as the stock market is tanking. So, as I said, this isn't about how we got to the Great Depression. It's how did the people live during the Great Depression and got out of it. So it touches on the really basic stuff of the stock markets, of, the idea is buying low and selling high, except in this case, you bought and it all went low and people lost money, which caused a run on banks because the banks had all these loans out that were utterly garbage at this point. And, became food lines of this and Hoovervilles and Hoover blankets, and I forgot what the shoes were. I don't remember if it was Hoover shoes or what the deal is. But yeah, it's good. It's so Hoover blankets, Hoover flags, Hoover leathers. That was it. The soles of their shoes was Hoover leathers. That was it. So it's interesting. Like, as I said, like, not all this goes into tons of depth. Not all of it is like really examined. Some of the public works stuff, like, it's touched upon, it's talked upon, but at the same time, it's not like, hey, we're going to really talk about how this worked and give you all the specifics and stuff like that. But it's enough that you're going to want to go. You can learn about these topics and then go from there and learn elsewhere. So yeah, so it talks about the Civilian Conservation Corps, the Okies, National Youth Administration, YPA Sewing Room Program, child labor laws, but it doesn't really go into like the racial discrimination of the New Deal. It leaves out the whole story about hot dogs and the Roosevelts with English royalty and how that helped us get into World War II. But yeah, like it also I think leaves out stuff about World War II. What the world was like at that time, or at least the U.S. was like at that time. So it's a lot of interesting information. Obviously it's not in depth of pretty much any of it, but it's enough for you to know where to go next to go look. So to me, good art, great storytelling. I think the storytelling was brilliant in this one. And more than enough for kids and adults to go and learn and then want to go learn more and know what to go learn about. So, successful graphic novel, as always. I think these are a great line, and I think it's fantastic they're doing this. This is out in shops. We got a link beneath our video. Put in your zip code. Tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage, and by doing that, you'll support our site. So thank you. But just watching our video supporters as always, so thank you as well. If you're into comics, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com. And of course, we're on Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.